Good Tuesday morning. We're going to talk about car hauling. I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't like going to get used trailers, used trucks. Okay? In a moving, well, excuse me, in construction business, right? Suppose you have a paver. The technology that they have, I'm not saying it's bad, but you work nights. It's not enough lights. So now you got to get the welder. You weld a pole on each side of the paver, and you put lights up there. Right? Okay. Suppose you heavy haul. Right? The trailer you have is a beautiful trailer, but you need to have the over with lights on your trailer. So you weld a piece on it and put a mini light bar on each side. Okay? And moving. And an enclosed transport. Right? So now you go to the dealer, you're gonna buy used, or it could be new. You go buy a trailer that's enclosed. You're buying off somebody else's mindset on what they think is appropriate. If you don't know the business, of course, you're going to get what they got and use to the best of your ability. But if you know the business, you're looking like, let's go to the manufacturer and see, can I get a custom built? Because I know what type of problems that's going to occur when I'm out on a job site or doing a job. Okay? So now, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, can you see that? Now you see that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on the top and 4 cars on the bottom, right? Hold on. 4 cars on the bottom. See? Okay. Now, right? Now, I see all the guys back the first car on it. I don't know the business. So my teacher's telling me, back the car up there. I don't know. I got to do what he say because I have no input of the business. Okay? You see that? You see the spec of that Toyota Highlander? Right? It has a length of 197 inches. It has a width of 76 inches and a height of 68 inches. Right? Now, let's go back. Right? So, you figure that trailer, not the tractor, the trailer is 50 foot. Right? It's 50 foot, right? And it can able to take 4 cars. Hold on, let's make sure. No, you get able to take 3 cars on top. 50 foot. Let's divide 50 into 3. 50 divided into 3. I'm using technology today, so forgive me. 16.6 feet. Right? Now, it has hydraulics. Okay? Now, 16.6 feet. It has hydraulics. Now, this is the trailer. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay. Now, it has hydraulics. It has 6 hydraulics. Right? So now you're designing your trailer. 16 feet. Now, 16 times 12 is how many inches? Let's do the math. 16.6 times 12. 199.2. So there's a hydraulic at 1 inch and another hydraulic at 199.2 inches. What's the length of a Toyota? Toyota is 197. Okay? So you got 2-inch clearance. You have no problem getting in and out outside that car. All right? Now, there are going to be some vehicles that door is going to be right there by the hydraulic. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know the business of how you loading it, how far the nose of that car is to the front door, to the rear door, if you don't know the business before you load that car. Now, my instructor is telling me, back the car on the top deck. I don't know no better. I'm backing the car up there. Right? I back the car up there. Now, only reason I can think that he's backing that car up there is because of the mirrors. The mirrors and rock chips. But I'm saying to myself, if I'm hauling these cars, why ain't you covering them up? You know, like on heavy equipment, right? Suppose I got a dozer, right? The smoker stack on the dozer, right, curves like this. So now all that wind, bird, bugs, gets into the exhaust, goes into the engine. Now I back the car on top of my head. The exhaust pipe is facing. Why ain't you covering that exhaust? Hold on, my nose running. I guess that's a sign. Hold on. All right. So now, that's one question. Why ain't you covering this car? That's the reason why I don't like open. But they load that car. They back the car up. That car's on top of your head. That car gets the same wind as you on your windshield. That exhaust, bugs, debris gets inside that thing, inside that exhaust. You don't cover it. One thing, right? You don't cover the car. 2 things. So something happened to that car, right? It's on me. But I'm just a student. So I does what he says. I make a delivery. Now, if you've been driving long enough, you done hit a bird. You might have hit a bird. In the old days, we used to have old cars, had the antenna on the front. The antenna sticks up on a quarter pounder. You might have hit a bird with your antenna. It happens. You know, a bird Might be trying to fly across but can't get across. You hit them. It happens. Now, what if I'm driving, got that car on top of my head, I hit a bird. I hit the bird right there in the exhaust. It's not covered. You got debris, you got the dirt, you got everything going inside this exhaust. The car is not designed to go backwards at highway speed. It's aerodynamic. So I'm looking at all this. So I'm you know, I can't question my teacher yet because I'm trying to learn the business. Now that I did a couple trips, I'm asking my instructor, why do you back the car on top? He gonna give me an explanation. What the explanation is, I don't know. It may be a good one. And I might be like, oh, okay, I understand now. But me not knowing the business, I'm saying to my instructor, you know, once I get out my own, I'm looking at, you know, my father used to haul heavy equipment. And we had to cover the exhaust because debris would get inside the exhaust and go into the engine and mess up. Then, you know, on heavy equipment, rocks can break your window. So we sometimes put stuff on to protect it. That car has no protection. So what type of advice would you give me when you release me? When you release me to be on my own, because you're telling me what was taught to you. Maybe you didn't question it, but I'm questioning it because this is my business now. If this was your business, I got to do it your way. But you're releasing me for me to be my own business owner. Why do you not cover that car? What type of cushion do the dealer give you when you got rock chips, when you got things wrong with the exhaust? What do he give you? If they just say, oh, it's okay. Okay, no problem. But what do he give you? You understand? You gotta have questions if this is your business. Now, I'm not saying by them backing that car, it's not right. They may have a good explanation of why they backed that car on there. It may be a good reason. But me going into their school, I'm learning their way. Okay? He may be 25 years strong in the business. He might get offended because I got questions. But if he's a good teacher, he's saying that's a good question. Anybody that questions you with a good question, you try to keep them closer because they can help you. They'll help you in business. You understand what I'm saying? So, hypothetically, suppose my wife is fluent in the office. She had an office job for 25 years. She can do accounting. She can do bookkeeping. She can do all this, right? I comes in there and says, okay, you're telling me that to be a good accountant, right? I need to add up all the expenses first, right? I get all the expenses first. Then I worry about the income, right? I said, okay. She been doing it for 25 years, right? She do the expenses first. She want to know how much it costs to operate the business first. So now maybe she can say, well, that's not enough, right? I'm new. I say, honey, Why do you do that? She may be offended because she got so much knowledge in the industry. She might give me a look like, right? Or she might pull me to the side. Don't question me in front of other employees. I respect that. Then I will say, but honey, why is you adding up the expenses first? Because this is what it costs to operate the business. I said, okay. Well, what if this is all the money that you can get? What if this is the set amount that you can get? Now you adding up all the expenses. Now you gotta worry about getting a number or getting contracts to meet your expenses. Find out your income first. Hypothetically, we got a construction company, right? We about to bid the job, right? My wife says it costs $5,000 an hour to get the job done. $5,000 an hour. 8 times 5 is 40 grand. Costs you 40 grand a day to run that crew. Right? Now we're gonna bid the job. She got the expenses. Now she gonna bid a job. Right? Even though you know what your expenses is. The income on which someone gonna pay you is $35,000 or $30,000 a day. That's 10 grand difference. Now you're saying, okay, now you got to keep throwing numbers. I'm saying, okay, all you paying me is 30 grand. We can do it. I can do it. But you, since you already got your expenses paid, now you got to keep throwing numbers. You see what I'm saying? I can take the income of what we agreed on and still do the job. Let me explain to you how. If it's only 30 grand, right? You figure a whole crew don't need a whole crew. Don't need it. If all you paying me is 30 grand, right? Give me a foreman, give me an operator, and give me 2 laborers. That's it. That's it. Do what you could do. They might complain, oh man, this is a lot of work. Do what you can do. After you finish excavating, okay. So instead of me having 3 operators, excavator, the roller, all this and that, right? You're doing it. You're doing it. So, in the business, even though I come up with my number, it's a number. If just say I'm real cool with Turcon. Turcon says, look, I got a job I need you to do. Great. Turcon, this is what it costs. Because now I'm trying to get everybody in my company with a check. This is what it costs. The numbers that I give you is for that. But when I go out to get a job and I'm bidding against other people, it's a whole totally different number. Believe that. Hold on. You feel me? It's a totally different number. So she gonna feel some kind of way because she 30 strong in it. I'm new. In which She should be like, wow, I didn't think of that. If I'd have known that 25 years ago, I would have been boom, bang. So now she listened to me. Now she start looking at, now she may not do it then, but she's going back thinking, this guy questioned me. He questioned me like, I don't know what I'm doing. So let me see what he said. She do the math, and she'd be like, I'd be damn, that was a good idea. You understand what I'm saying? So when you teaching a person, you teach them the basics. So if I'm teaching someone how to load an enclosed, right? I got enclosed car transporters. I'm saying you gotta use common sense. You understand? You gotta use common sense in this business. You can't use other person's sense. You gotta use common sense. If you have an enclosed car carrier and that door is 10 feet from the nose, right? It's 10 feet. If you back that car in there and that door comes at 10 feet, why are you gonna back the car in there? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Use common sense. Now, open car carrier, I don't know why they back that car up there. I can't tell you, don't do it. For everybody to do it, it's a reason. You feel me? For everybody to back that car on top of that head, it's a reason. My question is, how is you protecting the exhaust, stuff that getting into the exhaust going into the engine? Why ain't you covering their exhaust? Why ain't you covering that car? That's what I'm asking. Then if they don't have an explanation, I'm saying to myself, then why are you listening to someone else if you don't know why you're doing it? If everyone keep telling you to do it, and they can't give you an answer of why they doing it, why is you doing it? That is your business. You operate your business on the best way you know how. You keep following someone else, they're going to be on that's their craft. You don't have a craft. You learn it from them. Question everything that you do in your business. Now you see why I want a welder. Now you see why I like to have me a power washer. Now you see why if I get a reefer trailer, I'm gonna have me a water gallon tank. I know what it's like to be in a kitchen that's dirty. And you like, man, I ain't eating that. You're crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So why would I just follow everyone else? This is my business. The reason why I started a business, because I can see something different on what someone else is doing that I can improve in. That's the only reason why I started a business. What you trying to start a business to be better than a person's craft and than what they doing? That's the wrong way to do it. That's the wrong way how to start a business. That's the wrong attitude to start a business. That's like, okay, Michael Jordan was the greatest of all time. Here come LeBron James. LeBron James doing the same thing Michael Jordan do. You can never be another Michael Jordan. And you can never be another LeBron James. You take the basics of the game and add it to your own craft. Stop trying to follow someone when You want to have control. You understand? What Michael Jordan did was the best that he could do in his craft. What LeBron doing is the best that he can do in his craft. You're starting a business. Everybody that had a business before you didn't have the love in their heart in which you have. You may have a greater love for the business than anybody else that ever started a business. You may have a love so great that you saying, you know, I want to make sure every car that I deliver don't have a scratch. You know, a person might load their trailer in about 45 minutes. It takes you an hour and a half because you got a love for it. You might even take a rag and start polishing the car before you load it on there because you don't want the water to beat on the car. That's your business. Do you understand what I'm getting at? This is your business. You have to operate your business on the best way you know how. You don't follow Rich. You don't follow Rick. You don't follow others. You follow your heart. Believe that. Follow your heart. So now, by me starting I got open car carriers, correct? So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out why they back them cars on it. I want to see why. Maybe the shipper wants it. I don't know. But I want to find out why you backed that car up there. Why is that exhaust facing the wind? Why? That's one thing. That's one thing I want to learn. Why is that exhaust wide open to the wind? Why is that? That's what I want to know. Now, you ask some people that, some gonna get offended. But I'm saying to myself, me knowing about heavy haul, you gotta cover that exhaust. Me and heavy haul, you gotta protect them windows from rock chips. That's the reason why I got a step deck that's enclosed. You understand? So these are the questions that I have. Some people get offended by my questions, but I'm saying this is my business. Only thing I want to know is the basics. The basic is, if I got 50-foot space, I know all my cars can't reach more than 50 foot. That's the basics. That's what you're gonna tell me. That's what you're gonna ask me. But you don't know where my hydraulic piston is. You don't know where it's at. You don't know the length of the door to the front of the car, or from the back of the car to the front door. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm seeing people climb out the car. Yeah, I can understand that. But if by you loading it another way, why would you want to climb out the back for? You feel me? Now, like I say, I'm new to the business. I will never, ever see an open car carrier and tell him you're doing something wrong. I'm watching what he does, and I not have questions. Why you do that? Why is everybody doing the same thing that you do? Is that a requirement? Is that what the shipper wants? You feel me? That's what I'm asking. So I honor a person